Hi everyone, I am the man, welcoming you back to the Power Video Gaming Time Tunnel. Today, we are going to take a deep dive into one of my favorite retro systems and have a look at some of the top games. Many of these games I still play today. I was surprised to learn the 800 was a mid-level model, sandwiched between not just other Atari products, but other companies churning out their own PC-type systems. They all did basically the same thing, and were called all different letters and numbers. I don't think most people knew what it meant. For its unassuming veneer, the 800 was actually one of the most powerful systems a regular person could have in their home, including a number of audio and video advantages. It was the system to have, but it came with a crazy price I was not aware of, around $1,000, or around $4,000 today. That's crazy. But when you look at what people are expected to pay for consoles today, and they don't even want you to own the games you pay for, it's easy to see why especially young people are going back to the older games. My father ended up buying two 800s because he actually was using it for work, and I just wanted to play games. He couldn't hide it from me. The biggest advantage of the 800 was the graphics. Even though early games, even in the arcade, look primitive, they look way worse on early consoles. Even other Atari boxes lose that crisp, sharp look, which is what drove the arcade industry. If there's no other place to get that level of quality, gamers will go where it is. If it's in an arcade, so be it. A more complex game, longer game, just needs to be on a console. No one is playing Silent Hill in an arcade. Maybe a straight shooter version, like Resident Evil 4. I like that one, even though it has a more traditional shooter feel. There are over 5,000 known games for the 800. Play with that number. Zaxxon, Centipede, Millipede, Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Frogger, The Way Harder, Frogger 2, Dig Dug, Defender, Congo Bongo, Super Cobra, Star Wars, Star Raiders, and its updated sequel, Miner 49, Peanut Butter Panic. The first game my sister and I played together. Donkey Kong, Robotron, Jungle Hunt, Karateka, Ninja, 7 Cities of Gold, and an array of interactive text adventures like Zork and Infidel. Many more. Between myself and a friend, we probably ended up with a couple hundred games. Here are 10 of the 800 games I played the most. 1. Super Cobra. Probably this is the game I played the most. Not because it is so challenging, but because of the simple pleasure in blowing crap up with simple controls. Although the idea is simple, there are several things which work against you, and death can come quick if you aren't careful. The screen is constantly pushing you on. You have to hit the refuel depots without crashing or blowing them up. And there are tanks and missiles. Some parts are harder than others. The best advice is to keep moving. Both the 800 and arcade version require you to snag a money box to win. Both require you to be in precise position, but the arcade version is a little harder. It's a tighter window. Back in the day, there were often several different versions of the same game, adapting to differences in processing and visual ability. There are at least 8 different versions of Dark Castle. 2. Miner 49. Ambition in a game comes in all shapes and sizes. Here, the main goal is to cover every piece of walk space. There is quite a bit of level variety and challenge. This is a great early platformer, and I played it a lot. The jumping is very specific. Some trial and error is involved. Probably the most annoying level title screen ever. 3. Star Raiders. Won't spend that much time here, but Raider was a game which did interest me some. The grid map lets you pretend you're going somewhere. That's how we do things. Really simple graphics, but allowing you to use the keyboard gives the player more to do. The sequel looks like a traditional cockpit shooter and has better graphics. 4. Star Wars. As long as there has been Star Wars, there have been video game adaptations. It's among the top game IPs. No surprise. So many great Star Wars games. We could be here all day. Battlefront 2, TIE Fighter, Rebel Assault 2, Rogue Squad, Shadows of the Empire, Force Power Battle. It's never ending. The 800 had several. I was playing these games long before I saw the movies. When I did, I got a good laugh. I saw the scenes, I played, and it was good. The Empire one isn't that great, but the original and Jedi were fun. Simple, but effective. I sat in the original shooter cabinet right next to Pinbot. I used to just sit in there and pretend. I never forget those sounds. Years later, with way better graphics, came the Star Wars Trilogy Arcade, which takes you through many key sequences and even includes unused Hoth Wampa base attack sequence from Empire. You pilot, blast, and lightsaber. Nothing is like it. 5. Text Adventures. I have always been an active reader and writer. Growing up, there were a number of choose-your-own adventure books, which contained multiple narrative paths and endings. This, of course, kept the book in the kids' hands longer. Geniuses. I mostly had the Joe ones that I remember. Basic interactive storytelling was perfect for early game conceptualizing because you didn't need to rely on visual effects. Instead, the story progresses based on your prompts. One of the better-known series is Zork, the Great Underground Empire. The original is the one I have the most experience with. With a good map, you can get around, but the game is rigged to keep you down there forever. Monsters, trolls, a thief, the gates of heck. I've tooled around in this world a long time. I can get to a certain point, but never got to an end point. These types of games are still enjoyed, but probably most people prefer some visual element. But sometimes getting what you ask for still doesn't make you happy. As was the case with Return to Zork, a game I bought immediately. At that time, real-time video was being incorporated more into games and really enhancing the experience. You are also able to have different tonal conversation with the computer, resulting in different emotional reactions. This was wild, but I find it slows the game down. You do way more talking than exploring, and this world looks and feels nothing like the original game, which is dark and mysterious. This game could be called anything. So, for Zork fans, I know this, was a letdown, in spite of a good amount of lore building and world backstory. I think a more aesthetically accurate version would sell. I also had Infidel. Here, you wake up stranded in the desert with only moments to signal for help before the plane leaves. So, you really have to feel these games out. Learn what you can and can't do. Try and survive. If you want more challenge, play without the map. Good luck. 6. Frogger and Frogger 2. Everyone played this in the arcade. Simple, fun. The 800 has a fantastic port, and people were knocking on my door to play that too. But I got the upper hand there by hiding the original and replacing it with Frogger 2. Personally, I like it better, and it's more realistic to be in the water. It might be a little harder than the original, but both get really hard and faster. 7. Pitfall 1 and 2. This IP continues to be popular. It has certainly benefited by better graphics. Most people played the original, but there is a true sequel called Lost Caverns. It is more complicated and has a more open world feel. It also has checkpoints, which was rare. 8. Sublogic was responsible for the enhanced flight simulator control system for the 800, but they were bought out by Microsoft, and the rest is history. I mentioned in my first video my interest in vehicle sims. I still get a kick out of them. I wouldn't consider myself an enthusiast, but I do appreciate the experience and level of control. I also enjoy airport simulators, where you do all the work, and slowly, as you get faster, you can get the computer to do work and speed the game up. There are a lot of real-time business sim games. I will probably do some of them at some point, probably as a live stream. 9. Galaga. If you didn't play Galaga, you weren't a gamer. This is, without a doubt, one of my all-time favorite games. Fast, colorful, mind-bending. There's little room for error. 10. Choplifter. There is no shortage of helicopter games. I have several on my channel. I tried, as much as possible, to not do too many of the same type of game, or spread them out. But some games I just can't avoid, and there are other helicopter games I could add. I did play the original. Mostly, I would sit in the cabinet and pretend. I played through Choplifter 3 for the channel. It's pretty challenging with caves, waves of battleships, and way off scale skyscrapers to maneuver. It's long, so don't be in a big rush. Try and deal with as few targets at a time as possible. Don't blow your people up. Well, that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed this adventure into my world of retro gaming. There are surely more games to come, and I am endeavoring to work through my commentary videos as effectively as I can. Thank you for watching. I am the man, and we'll see you next time. 数えて1、2、3、4、5今宵は時を